Parenting twins is often portrayed as a beautiful miracle, a picture-perfect scene of matching smiles and double the joy. Yet behind those heartwarming images lies a reality that many parents are unprepared for: the challenge of feeding two babies at the same time. Breastfeeding one newborn already demands patience, energy, and emotional resilience. Breastfeeding twins can feel like a full-time commitment that tests even the most determined parents. Sleep deprivation, physical exhaustion, concerns about milk supply, and the constant pressure to meet the needs of two infants can create overwhelming moments. But what if the struggle does not mean failure? What if there are practical strategies, alternative approaches, and emotional tools that can transform this demanding journey into a manageable and rewarding experience? Today, we will explore the real challenges of breastfeeding twins and the solutions that can make a meaningful difference. For many parents of twins, breastfeeding begins with hope, determination, and a desire to provide the best possible start in life. However, the reality often includes unexpected obstacles that can leave mothers feeling exhausted, frustrated, or even discouraged. The good news is that these challenges are far more common than many people realize, and there is no single right way to nourish and bond with twin babies. In this video, we will explore the physical, emotional, and practical aspects of breastfeeding twins, along with realistic solutions that can help families find a rhythm that works for them. Whether you are currently facing these challenges or preparing for the arrival of twins, this information can help you feel more confident and supported. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more parenting insights and practical guidance. The journey of breastfeeding twins often begins long before the babies arrive. During pregnancy, many parents spend hours reading articles, watching videos, and imagining how they will manage feeding two newborns simultaneously. While preparation is valuable, no amount of research can fully capture the reality of caring for two hungry infants whose needs rarely align perfectly. The first days after birth can be especially demanding, as mothers recover physically while learning how to establish breastfeeding. Concerns about milk production frequently emerge, fueled by the understandable fear that one body may not be able to provide enough nourishment for two growing babies. Yet the human body is remarkably adaptable. In many cases, milk production responds to demand, increasing as babies feed more often. Understanding this biological process can reduce anxiety and help parents focus on building confidence rather than worrying about assumptions that may not reflect reality. One of the most challenging aspects of breastfeeding twins is the physical demand placed on the mother's body. Feeding sessions can consume many hours each day, leaving little time for rest, recovery, or personal care. The repetitive nature of lifting, positioning, and supporting two babies can contribute to neck pain, back discomfort, shoulder tension, and general fatigue. Sleep deprivation often magnifies these challenges, making routine tasks feel significantly harder. Many mothers find themselves trapped in a cycle where feeding leads directly into diaper changes, soothing, and preparation for the next feeding session. This relentless schedule can create feelings of exhaustion that seem impossible to escape. Practical support becomes essential during this stage. Assistance with household chores, meal preparation, and baby care allows mothers to conserve energy for feeding and recovery, reducing stress and creating a healthier environment for both parent and children. Simultaneous breastfeeding is often promoted as an efficient solution for parents of twins, and for many families it can indeed save valuable time. However, learning to feed two babies at once requires patience, practice, and persistence. Finding comfortable positions may involve experimentation with specialized nursing pillows, supportive cushions, and different holding techniques. In the beginning, coordinating two infants who may have different feeding styles and levels of patience can feel overwhelming. One baby may latch easily while the other struggles. One may feed quickly while the other takes longer. These differences are completely normal but can increase stress when parents expect both babies to follow identical patterns. Gradually, experience helps build confidence, and many families develop routines that fit their unique circumstances. Success often comes not from perfection but from flexibility and the willingness to adapt as babies grow and their needs evolve over time. Emotional challenges can be just as significant as physical ones. Many mothers experience intense pressure to breastfeed exclusively, especially when surrounded by messages suggesting that any alternative approach represents a failure. This mindset can create guilt and self-doubt when breastfeeding becomes difficult. Parents of twins often face unique circumstances that require creative solutions, and those solutions deserve respect rather than judgment. Feelings of inadequacy may arise when babies struggle to gain weight, when milk supply fluctuates, or when feeding sessions become stressful. These emotions are understandable and common. Recognizing that parenting twins involves extraordinary demands can help reduce unrealistic expectations. Emotional well-being is not separate from successful caregiving. It is an essential part of it. A parent who feels supported, rested, and emotionally stable is better equipped to care for two infants than one who constantly sacrifices their own health in pursuit of impossible standards. Another common concern involves maintaining an adequate milk supply. Stories from other parents, social media comparisons, and conflicting advice can create confusion about what is normal. In reality, milk production varies widely between individuals, and temporary fluctuations do not necessarily indicate a serious problem. Frequent feeding, proper hydration, balanced nutrition, and adequate rest all contribute to supporting milk production. However, parents should also understand that supplementation may sometimes become part of the feeding journey. Using expressed breast milk or formula when medically necessary does not erase the benefits of breastfeeding. Instead, it can serve as a practical tool that ensures babies receive the nutrition they need while reducing pressure on the mother. Viewing supplementation as a resource rather than a failure allows families to make decisions based on health, circumstances, and well-being rather than unrealistic expectations imposed by external opinions. Differences between twins can introduce additional complexity into breastfeeding routines. Despite sharing the same pregnancy and often the same environment, twins frequently develop distinct personalities, preferences, and feeding behaviors. One baby may latch immediately while the other requires more assistance. One may gain weight steadily while the other progresses more slowly. These variations can lead parents to question their abilities or worry that something is wrong. Understanding that individuality begins from birth helps place these differences into perspective. Rather than forcing identical schedules or feeding methods, many families achieve greater success by responding to each baby's specific needs. Flexibility becomes one of the most valuable parenting skills. Observing feeding cues, monitoring growth patterns, and maintaining communication with healthcare professionals can provide reassurance while helping parents make informed decisions that support both babies without creating unnecessary stress. Time management becomes a central challenge in households with twins. Feeding to babies often feels like a continuous process that leaves little room for anything else. Parents may struggle to find time for meals, showers, sleep, or meaningful interactions with their partners. The feeling of constantly being needed can become emotionally draining, particularly during the early months. Establishing routines can help create a sense of predictability, even if schedules remain imperfect. Some families choose synchronized feeding times to streamline daily activities, while others follow individual feeding cues based on each baby's needs. Neither approach is universally correct. What matters is finding a system that supports the family's overall well-being. Small organizational strategies such as preparing feeding stations in advance or keeping essential supplies within reach can reduce daily stress and help parents feel more in control of an otherwise demanding situation. Support networks play a critical role in the breastfeeding experience of parents with twins. Family members, friends, healthcare professionals, and parenting communities can provide practical assistance and emotional encouragement during difficult moments. Unfortunately, some parents hesitate to ask for help because they fear appearing incapable or inadequate. In reality, seeking support demonstrates wisdom rather than weakness. Raising twins requires extraordinary effort, and no one should be expected to manage every responsibility alone. Conversations with other parents of multiples can be particularly valuable because they offer understanding based on lived experience. Hearing stories of challenges, setbacks, and eventual successes can reduce feelings of isolation. Support networks not only provide practical solutions but also remind parents that they are part of a larger community facing similar struggles. This sense of connection can become a powerful source of motivation during exhausting periods. Alternative feeding approaches can offer relief when exclusive simultaneous breastfeeding proves difficult or unsustainable. Some parents combine direct breastfeeding with pumping, allowing partners or caregivers to assist with feedings. Others alternate between breastfeeding and bottle feeding depending on circumstances and daily demands. These approaches create flexibility while still supporting the nutritional and emotional benefits associated with breastfeeding. The key is recognizing that successful parenting is not measured by adherence to a single feeding method. Instead, success should be evaluated by the health of the babies and the well-being of the family as a whole. Every family faces unique circumstances, and feeding strategies should reflect those realities. When parents release the pressure to conform to idealized expectations, they often discover solutions that feel more sustainable, practical, and compatible with their long-term physical and emotional health. Ultimately, breastfeeding twins is not simply a feeding process. It is a journey of adaptation, resilience, learning, and growth. The challenges are real, and there will likely be moments of frustration, exhaustion, and uncertainty. Yet there are also moments of connection, accomplishment, and profound love that emerge through daily caregiving experiences. Parents gradually develop skills they never imagined they possessed, finding strength in circumstances that once seemed overwhelming. Progress rarely follows a perfect path, and setbacks do not define the outcome of the journey. What matters most is the willingness to continue learning, adjusting, and seeking support when needed. By embracing flexibility, prioritizing well-being, and focusing on realistic solutions rather than perfection, parents can navigate the complex world of breastfeeding twins with greater confidence, creating an environment where both babies and caregivers have the opportunity to thrive. Breastfeeding twins can be one of the most demanding experiences a parent will ever face, but it can also become one of the most meaningful. The journey is not defined by perfection, exclusive feeding methods, or comparisons with other families. It is defined by love, persistence, and the countless daily choices made in the best interest of two growing children. Every challenge overcome, every feeding completed, and every moment of care contributes to a stronger bond and a healthier family. Remember that seeking help, adapting your approach, or choosing alternative solutions does not diminish your success as a parent. The goal is not perfection. The goal is nurturing your babies while protecting your own well-being. In the end, the strongest parents are often those who learn to balance determination with compassion, both for their children and for themselves.